So, welcome to a new episode of Mostly Engineering and another part in our Enigma build series. So, welcome to this episode, and today I'm going to build the entry disk for an Enigma machine. And for the most part, this will be a rinse and repeat from the rotor build and the reflector drum, with the added simplification that this time we don't have to do crisscross wiring, because stupidly the Germans just went with a sequence of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or maybe not so stupid, because in the wiring of the entry disk really are puzzles as the British, and in fact they couldn't figure it out until they met with the Polish very shortly before the war, and they just told them, yeah, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and boy, that was probably an interesting meeting, to say the least. But for a build, most of it is rinse and repeat, so I will go over it very quickly. Also, I simplified the construction of the entry disk slightly, so that we now have a central column where everything mounts to. But the interesting new parts will be our central arbor, where then in the finished machine our rotor shaft will sit on. And this I'm going to machine out of bearing bronze. And bearing bronze is very hard, very slippery. And in fact, it's the hardest material I have yet to turn on my little Proxon lathe. So I'm interested how this is going. And the second part is the cloth wrapping of the cables coming out of the entry disk. And here we have to find a solution. My first idea was take the cloth wrapping from lamp cables, but I can't find it anywhere separately, and getting rid of the cable part inside is actually really difficult. So we have to find a solution there as well. But first, let's go to the lathe and see how we can machine bearing bronze. So, and let's machine the central shaft, and here we have our bearing bronze already loaded into the machine. We don't have to do much, just clean up this cut and then drill a 5mm hole in it. But first we are going to change the tooling, and let's go. Okay, that went better than I thought. And there's our part. So, and here we have our entry disk, and I have to say, it looks really, really nicely. First thing we learned, working with so much wire in numbers and in length is a bit of a challenge, to put it mildly. Second thing we learned, working with bearing bronze, it machines really, really nicely. But I'm not gonna lie, a little bit more rigidity in the life, especially in the facing cut while the cutter was still going in and out of the material. The vibrations in the machine were a little bit much for comfort, and I think the amount of backlash that is in the crosslight didn't help either. But in the end, the result looks really, really nice, and in the end, that is the only thing that counts. With the cloth wrapping, the first thing I tried was just some brown cloth band, as was also used in the original machine, but this didn't really work out. You need two hands to wrap it around, and for each revolution you need another hand to hold it in place. So it didn't work out at all, and doing it, you kind of see the point why the wrapping looks as badly as it does in all of the original machines. What I did instead is then back to my roots and remembering my bookbinding classes, and what I used is this self-adhesive cloth tape, and normally it's used for the spines of books, but it has a right texture and you can wrap it around, and you only need the two hands to wrap it because it stays in place on its own, and the result looks really nice. And with this, the only thing left to do now is mount it to the machine. And while I'm doing it, it's already time to end the show, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, comments, as always, let them down below, and I try to answer them as quickly and correctly as possible. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and all that I have to say now is thanks for watching, and see you at the next time. Bye bye.